epic, which discusses the ancient flood, and so on and so forth. Zohar, Genesis 37, A and B, tells a similar tale in regard to the book of the generations of Adam. This is mentioned in Genesis 5:1. Listen to this, according to the Zohar. This is the Jewish mystical traditions, teachings, commentary, and so on and so forth on the ancient Torah and the Nevi'im and the Ketuvim, the prophets and the writings. The law, the prophets, and the writings. Well, the Zohar is the inspired commentary from the Jews, and it's simply sensational to read. It says God indeed did send down a book to Adam, from which he became acquainted with the supernal wisdom through this book. This book was brought down to Adam by the master of mysteries. So see, this is like an initiation, isn't it? There's a master of mysteries. And it was preceded by 3 messengers. Very interesting there. When Adam was expelled from the Garden of Eden, he tried to keep hold of the book, but it was taken away from him. It flew out of his hands. So what did Adam do? He supplicated God with tears for its return, and it was given back to him, in order that wisdom might not be forgotten of men, and that they might strive to obtain knowledge of their master. So you see, the humans lose the books, and then the books are brought back. And then they lose the books through their lack of wisdom, their lack of insight, and lack of foresight. Joseph Smith went through this same process. Precisely so. Tradition further tells us that Enoch also had a book which came from the same place as the book of the generations of Adam, incidentally. This is the same source of the book known as the Book of Enoch. And then the Zohar continues, when Adam was in the Garden of Eden, God sent down to him a book by the hand of Raziel, the angel in charge of the holy mysteries. In this book were supernal inscriptions containing the sacred wisdom, and 72 branches of wisdom expounded so as to show the formation of 670 inscriptions of higher mysteries. Now this reminds us of the books of Yehu, doesn't it? With all of their inscriptions, seals, tokens, signs, etc. It's a very interesting theme that perhaps has been carried on through the Christian gnosis, through the Christian Gnostics, through the books of Yehu. Anyway, in the middle of the book was a secret writing explaining the 1,500 keys which were not revealed even to the holy angels, and all of which are locked up or sealed up. Parts of the books are sealed and concealed. Some of it is given, some of it is held back. Exactly like the Book of Mormon teaches. It's exactly like the experience of Joseph Smith himself shows us. We only have 1/3 of the plates translated right now. The spooky thing is, don't know if you're aware of this or not, but we are going to be judged by the full text. It's because of wickedness that the 2/3 are being kept from us. But we will be judged by what's written in there also. And that is entirely fair, because we have our freedom to live righteously enough to get the rest of that 2/3 portion, if we wished we had it. Instead, we would rather seek Babylon and fame and power and glory and money, and therefore it's held back from us. Because you can't serve God and mammon. As long as you try to do both, God will pull away the ancient records from us. And those are going to be our judgment records. Like it or not, it's our choice. We have our freedom to do this, so. Spooky stuff. Well, when Adam obtained the book, all the holy angels gathered round to hear him and read it. Thereupon the holy angel Had-Arnael was secretly sent to say to him, Adam, Adam, reveal not the glory of the Master, for to thee alone, and not to the angels. Even the angels have knowledge that are kept back from them. Here they are delivering the book. Knowledge is kept back from them, but it is given to the earthly Adam. Isn't that fascinating? The angels do not know everything either, any more than human man does. Anyway, it's given to know the knowledge, given to know the glory of the Master. Therefore he kept it by him secretly until he left the Garden of Eden. There he studied it diligently and utilized constantly the gift of his Master until he discovered sublime mysteries. He studied it diligently until, and he utilized the gift of his master until he discovered sublime mysteries which were not even known to the celestial ministers. The Kabbalah teaches that one of the best ways to study the Scripture to reveal sublime mysteries is through the gematria. Twentus doesn't mention that. He doesn't seem to give any credence to gematria, but the Kabbalah does. The hidden mysteries, hidden in plain sight right in the text. Because in antiquity, as David Feidler has shown in his book, Jesus Christ, Son of God, and Kiernan Berry in the Greek Kabbalah, and several other scholars and authors, Frederick Bly Bond, and a gentleman named Lee, discussed the apostolic gnosis with this gematria. Anciently, letters also served as numbers, so that the theme of gematria is if specific words, as you count their letters, as they have the same number, there is a meaningful relationship and correspondence. I mean, there was an apostolic gnosis. Bond shows that. So the Kabbalah teaches that this is how to study to receive the hidden mysteries. It's open for anyone who wants to try it. So, and I've got some good stuff on gematria I'll show you sometime. Anyway, the three recensions of the medieval Book of Noah. Now, there was a Book of Noah. Interestingly, the Dead Sea Scrolls fragments, Robert Eisenman and Michael Weiss have translated fragments of this Book of Noah as they had it in the Dead Sea Scrolls. This is so fascinating. It tells the story with some variation. According to the second recension, after Adam spent 3 days in prayer, this reminds us of Enos all day at prayer in the Book of Mormon, doesn't it? 3 days of prayer. How many of us pray that often and hard, you see? It's like the rabbis teach. They say, there is no movement from above until there is a stirring from below. I mean, we have to make the effort. These are the mysteries. They're not going to just be given to you because you happen to be a nice guy or a nice gal or because you're pretty or whatever. No, you've got to make some serious effort to learn this knowledge. And then the information comes to you. It's through meditation, through prayer. Well, Adam spent 3 days in prayer. God sent to him the angel Raziel to deliver the book and read it to him. The angel then ascended in a flame of fire, reminiscent of the conduit of light in which Moroni departed from Joseph Smith. Adam evidently hid the book away because 4 generations later, Enoch read the book, and then Enoch did the same thing. He then hid the book also. The book was later delivered to Noah by the angel Raphael, the angel of healing, incidentally, and from it he learned how to build the ark. And before entering the ark, Noah hid the book away. But even after the flood, he later received it because he passed it on to Shem, who transmitted it to the succeeding generations. It's very interesting that Shem, by tradition, the Jewish tradition, is Melchizedek. And Melchizedek, of course, is the one that Abram paid tithes to in Genesis 14, 15, 16. So Melchizedek knew about this tradition. Abraham also had his book that has been transmitted through the courses of time, and we now have that also. There's all kinds of fascinating tie-ins with this, isn't there? In the first recension of the Book of Noah, the angel Raphael delivered a book of medicinal cures to Noah after the flood. The third recension is closer to the second than it is to the first. In the third recension of the Book of Noah, the angel Raziel delivered the book written on a sapphire stone. This is the philosopher's stone, the theme of the emerald tablet, the hermetic emerald tablet, a sapphire stone, a durable substance. Very fascinating. Anyway, that's what Adam received the book on. Noah. And Noah eventually gained possession of the book, and from it he learned how to build the ark. Well, the versions differ, and they kept it. They also say that Noah brought the book with him and kept it in a golden box. Very interesting that they keep keeping these records in boxes. Joseph Smith found the Book of Mormon in the hill Cumorah, guided by the angel Moroni, in a box. After the flood, of course, he gave it to Shem, from whom it was transmitted to others until the time of Solomon.